welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about how to restart your life in 2026 and how actually to achieve your goals. So I know I didn't post for a long time on YouTube. It's because there's so much that happens in my life. There was a time when I stopped posting on social media like for a month, but then I thought to myself, no, I really need to post again on my social media. And I was also thinking a long time about my life that I want to change something in my life and I need to make new goals and already do something in my life. So I don't mean that I didn't do anything in my life because I already studied a lot. I did Pilates and I started my YouTube channel and other social media. The thing was, I felt like it wasn't enough. The actual thing is I wanted to change my mindset. I remember I used to always hear about the gratitude journal or the awareness diary, but I used to think that I don't need it. I decided to change my mind and I got myself a diary. It's actually not a diary, it's more like a notebook. But it didn't matter for me because my goal was to write down my ideas and my thoughts that I had in my head. So the first things first, what I did is I reflect on 2025 and I wrote down what did I achieve, what habits worked and what habits didn't work, and what went wrong. So I wrote down, for example, I finally lost some weight and started to work out more. One thing about that is that when you write down every goal that you reached in 2025, like you see you achieved so many things and it gives you more confidence. For example, I started the last year to learn how to play a guitar, but I still cannot play a guitar. So I wrote down why didn't I achieve this goal? And I said like, I didn't learn enough. Now I know my mistake and for this year if I want to learn how to play a guitar, I just know that I need to learn more. Exactly like that, just with the other goals. Example, the last year I learned how to finally let the other people go and not to become easily attached to other people's. And honestly, I started to live more easily. So I remember I was really attached to the people that I communicated and was friends with and also relationships, and it was really hard for me to let the other people go. Now I learned that if a person has to be with me, no matter what, they will stay with me. Honestly, the only person that you need in your life is yourself. Because there's no person that can save you, it's only you who can save yourself. Now we're going to the next thing, and it's what habits worked and what habits didn't work. In my case, habits that worked for me, there's so many. I wrote them here down. And for example, it's to work out 4 times in a week. For example, read more books. I remember I used to hate read books, but then I bought myself like Coco Chanel book and I was so inspired by this book. Then I bought a Prada book and then I decided to buy a psychology book. This is actually how it started, but honestly now I don't have really time to read. So I just found a book on Spotify as a podcast, and now while cooking or while doing other stuff, I hear a podcast, and it's really good idea. The other habit is no phone in the morning, and it was the best decision ever because I remember 2 or 3 years ago I used to wake up in the morning and take phone and scrolling like for 1 hour or 2 hours. But then I decided that I really need to stop it and I rather meditate in the morning or read some good affirmations for myself because it's really not good to wake up in the morning with a clear mind and just scrolling on TikTok and brainwashing. There are also so many habits that I could tell you. It's like to don't overthink counting calories or stretch myself in the morning, but it's gonna be so much. That's why we're going to the habits that didn't work for me. First one that I wrote down is to restrict myself too much in food and sweets. So as I said before, my biggest goal was in 2025 is to lose weight, but the thing is, I really restricted myself so much in food, for example, like sweets, and it wasn't a good idea. So the problem was that I restricted myself in sweets and then I just overact. For example, the other habit that didn't work for me is to eat constantly healthy. So I wrote down why it didn't work, and I saw because I was surrounded by fast food or sweets. I can fix it in this year. So if I want to eat healthy, I just need to stop surrounding myself with sweets and fast food. Or, for example, I didn't meditate and I wrote down what went wrong. And I saw I didn't meditate because I was rushing or I was distracted by my phone. So I remember when I woke up, the first thing I took my phone and I scrolled down on TikTok, but instead I actually could wake up without rushing and just meditate for 5 minutes and it will be better. But we learn from our mistakes, so this year I won't do that and I will meditate because my goal for this year is to become more spiritual. Now we're coming to the goals for 2026. How actually to reach your goals and stay consistent. So I was also strong by this that I wrote down a goal and I was so motivated. I worked out, I counted calories, and 3 days later I stopped. So many people think, and I used to be like that too, that we have to be motivated to do something, but it's not true because if we want to reach something, we have to be disciplined. So I did a mind map for 2026 and I wrote down my goals, my vision, how I want to see myself in the end of the 2026, and habits and actions that could bring me near to my goal. So one of the goals that I wrote down is to develop myself into a better version. And I also wrote down a vision how I see myself at the end of the 2026. And one of the things that I wrote is I read and hear a lot of podcasts about psychology, money, and success. So I wrote down actions of self-development, and one of them is to hear podcasts, read psychology books, meditate, be positive minded, do yoga, and learn new stuff. Also, I wrote down how my daily routine looks like in 2026, and I wrote down waking up early, no phone in the morning, meditate and hear some affirmations, stretch myself, do my skincare and have a healthy breakfast, and then do Pilates workout. Also, I started to make daily to-do plan. For example, I made a 5-minute to-do section and 5 to 30 minutes to-do section. So in 5 minutes to-do section, I wrote down meditate, stretch myself, gratitude, eat or check on social medias, answer emails or friends. And in a section from 5 to 30 minutes, I wrote down to do a Pilates workout, go on a walk, or maybe if I have some meetings with my friends, study for school, learn some languages, or make a content. And I also wrote 3 most important to do things. It's to work out, to study, and to make a content. For me, now I know that I have 3 most important things that I have to do daily is to work out, study, and make a content. So, for example, the other things, maybe go on a walk, it's not that important as the things that I wrote down. So, this section helps you to distribute your efforts correctly. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I helped you. I also wish you good luck in this year, and for more you can follow me on my Instagram or TikTok, and see you guys for the next time.